Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast Retro Life for You. We are just having a little bonus episode tonight, a little powwow, a sit around of what I called earlier, Marty, a round table
Yeah,
discussion.
round.
Only,
Yeah, that sounds about right. Round
only it's
table
just
discussion.
only it's just three of us, so we're in an odd circle shape here. A triangle table discussion.
Trying. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's what we're having. Uh, we're just going to sit around here and talk about some of our favorite toys that we got when we were kids for Christmas time, being that this is Christmas time right now. And um, then at some point, we're going to tell you what we think our five favorites were. So go ahead and start with Ray up there up top. As far back as you can remember, I guess, Ray, what do you remember some of your favorite toys being that you got that, you know, you played with quite often?
Um, I got a lot, but a lot of the stuff not a lot, but some of the stuff I got was I wouldn't call it a toy per se. Um, because I've gotten instruments for Christmas, so
Mhm.
it wasn't
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I should have clarified it front. Christmas gifts. It didn't because like it could be a bicycle, and that's not a toy either. So you know, I mean, but Christmas gifts that you got that you like.
I mean I guess you could call it like a toy. I don't know. Um,
It depends.
but yeah, I mean, my favorite, the one that's really stands out to me is, and I swear I don't even remember asking for it, but I was so happy I got it, and I don't even know how my mother thought to get it, but I got the what was the He-Man castle, the castle.
Was it
Castle Grayskull.
yeah, Castle Grayskull or Snake Mountain?
No, it was the green one. It was
Oh, Grayskull.
yeah. And I come downstairs that morning. I was probably about 6, 7 years old, and come downstairs it's dark, but the only lights on was the Christmas lights around the tree, and the little lights we had around the living room or whatever. And I see this thing, and I'm like, nah, I ain't. So I went back upstairs and went, yeah, I didn't really get that. I'm like, my mother know to get this. And I just go back upstairs and I come back down and it's still there. I'm like, okay, I really got this. That's all I remember getting that Christmas. I don't remember nothing else I got that Christmas. And then when I opened it up, because this was the time I think, some we got gifts that weren't always wrapped. They unwrapped them and put them together and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
And so I got it and I opened it up and it was all the He-Man action figures inside. I'm like,
Wow.
Dude,
Oh,
serious? So I'm like, and I played with that all Christmas Day. I don't think I played with anything else. I don't hardly remember anything. I might have got some. I probably did get some clothes or something like that, but I don't remember nothing else I got for that Christmas.
well, I don't think we ever
oh.
counted clothes, did we?
Yeah, I never considered clothes as a Christmas gift, especially when I was like five or all the way up to like 13 or 14. Now, give me clothes when I'm a teenager, but give me toys when I'm young, when I can actually still play with them.
You
But I can't I can't say that. I've been an avid toy collector ever since I was in my 20s, and if you could see my collection downstairs, Ray, you would be surprised. So
big old nerd,
I can
big,
imagine.
yeah, yeah,
bigger
yeah,
nerd,
exactly.
bigger nerd than me. It's right though, but it is pretty cool what you got and everything though, for sure. I if Travis was here right now instead of being at work, he would already have in his background his Castle Grayskull, his Snake Mountain, um, his his Turbo Man doll doing his Turbo Man accent that I cannot do, um, and all this other good stuff. Oh, just way back here pointing them out to us. He's got quite a bit of stuff too. Now, I will say this: as far as if I was comparing collections, I think Marty's got quite a bit of Star Wars and
Mhm.
Star Wars and Marvel figures and stuff. Really, is what it is for the most part.
Oh yeah, a good collection of Star Wars. Everything that they did from like the re-release in the '90s,
Hmm.
I collected pretty much all that, and Then like all the Marvel figures that they started in early 2000s. So,
But now,
but
let me ask you this: now, as far as those go, did you, when you were younger, did you get any of the original Star Wars stuff that
oh
was
yeah,
more
oh yeah,
early '80s, late '70s stuff?
yeah. Which I kick myself every day almost for not keeping up with all of my original Star Wars little action figures
I think we all do
and
that.
uh, especially like my original Millennium Falcon. I was gonna say that that in itself would definitely be one of my favorite toys. Remembering back when I was about, I want to say I was about 10. Uh, like like Ray said, coming down the hall instead of coming downstairs, I came down the hall, looked at the Christmas tree, and then I was like, "Whoa, what is that sitting on the floor? Is that a Millennium Falcon sitting on the floor? Man, look at that!" And I was like, am I even supposed to be in here right now?
No,
So,
go back to
and
bed.
I was like, no, not really. And then I hauled butt back to my room, hopped back in the bed, and waited until my mom and dad got up.
You know, that's kind of like when you're a kid and you happen to stumble across all of them in the closet when you have accidentally been looking on purpose for them, like for the last 3 days, and you finally find them, and you're like, "Wait, am I supposed to be in here in this closet?" No. Let me shut the
Mhm.
door real quick. No.
happened to me.
Oh, you never did that.
Never. I don't know how they did that. I have
My
never.
my parents always did the sneaky thing and never hid nothing in the house. They always had it in the trunk of their car.
Which
So basically, they waited until me and my sister was asleep, and then went outside and got all the presents and stuff, and
Yeah,
brought them into the house and put them underneath the tree.
that's sneaky.
but
Yeah,
I don't know what like where I was at, where I live at back then. Stores were open on Christmas Eve late, like so parents were still out shopping. Like I remember one year my parents went out like at like 5 o'clock, left the house, and I knew they would go Christmas shopping. I had already figured the whole,
Yeah,
figured out the whole operation, but I didn't let them know. But I know they went out. But I'm like, that's the other thing. They like stores are closed on Christmas Eve at like 5 o'clock now, 6 o'clock. Like,
hmm
I think. Yeah, you can't really do it no more. I mean, they close. What stores closing like at what 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve and down for Christmas Day and
well, except for Walgreens, but who wants a toy from Walgreens? And so,
It depends. Walgreens had, now, well, Walgreens might have some Hot Wheels up in there. I mean,
if I was one, I might get a toy.
eh, yeah, I mean, or if you're a Hot Wheels collector, you might buy some Hot Wheels from there, but you should already have it if you're a collector anyway. Look,
exactly.
I think one of my favorite things I remember getting was Transformers when they first came out, the G1 Transformers. I had this knack for knowing how to transform these things already. I don't know why, but I could break it out of the box and go ahead and immediately just it was figured out within like 30 seconds. I've transformed from robot back to car or plane or whatever it was that I gotten. The only downside to it was for me was I never got one of the major bad guys. Like I never got a Starscream or a Soundwave or a Megatron or a Shockwave. I always wanted one of those. Now I had like the Blue Jet. I think it was called Thundercracker. I had that one. And if you got one of them, man, they're all the same. They all transform the same anyway, right? It just,
Yeah,
of course. But I remember having that. I eventually got an Optimus Prime, and that was my favorite one for a while. But one year, they got me the Metroplex Transformer, which was supposed to be the small city thing, or transformed and also into like a battle station. Then it transformed into a robot, depending on how you did it. So uh,
yeah. I think that was like what generation three,
I
like
don't
the wave three.
I don't remember when exactly it came out. I know it wasn't one of the first few that came out though. As far as the first few, I didn't get Optimus Prime at the beginning. That was later on. I think within the first few, I got quite a few of the little mini bots like Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper and people
Yeah.
like that. And then I had I had my favorite one was Sideswipe. It was the red Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
So I had Sideswipe and I had I think maybe Mirage and wow, a few others of them. I mean, I didn't have a lot of the major ones unless I was just buying them myself. They didn't know what I wanted for Transformers. I think I got Optimus. I may have told my mom Optimus Prime one year and got him specifically because I told her that. But other than that, I didn't know to tell her that I want like Wheeljack or Prowl or and yes, this is pitiful. I can still remember these names. I know. Uh, quit laughing at me, guys. It's not cool.
You are
It's
into the fandom for it.
I'm telling you, I know my stuff, man. I know my stuff. I wanted Hound the Jeep. Wanted that one. I didn't get that one. I had like I said, a bunch of the mini bots. I had Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. I had Brawn. I had Beachcomber. I had the little small rig like Prime. They called him Huffy, I think, or something, or Huffer, Huffy or Huffer. One, I think it was Huffy.
Yeah, it was one of those.
But anyway, yeah, I did. It was Transformers for me early on, as far as my first memorable one. If you got a like, if you're looking at anything else, Ray, what else comes to mind for you other than the He-Man that you got that year?
You mean as far as like just from any year Christmas gifts? Or,
Yeah, just anything. It don't have to be toys or anything.
see, I remember getting. You look back on it now, you're like, I would get it from somewhere else besides this place. But those Radio Shack racing cars, those RC cars,
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
I got like three of them. They were all the same car, just different colors.
But Radio Shack had some cool stuff when we were younger. They had the all-in-one electronic kits. You can make the different things with the boards wherever you put the wires on. They had the RC kits, the race cars, like you said. I mean, they had the little stereos if you want
Mhm.
a stereo for your room or something. I mean,
Got it.
Yeah.
I had to realize that I had to just be happy I got this particular one, and it's not the one I wanted.
hmm
I don't know if you remember the BMX bikes, but the mongoose and all that stuff.
hmm
I wanted the mongoose. I didn't get the mongoose. I got a BMX bike, but it wasn't that one. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna be happy I got this bike because at the time I didn't have a bike and
right.
everybody else had one and I didn't. I was riding other people's bikes. So I was glad I got that bike for Christmas.
I think there's always one particular bike. I don't know, Marty, if you were the same way or not. There was one
Yeah.
particular bike that I wanted. It was a Huffy BMX bike. It was gray with white tires and these white solid rim things on the inside covering the spokes.
Mhm.
You couldn't see
The
the spokes.
I I think I was probably 14, maybe 13. I was going on 14 because my birthday is in January. But just like Ray said, BMX bike. I mean, that was where it was at because mine was yellow. I think it was like yellow and black,
hmm
and it had like the yellow spoke wheels on the inside.
I think
And
it was called
uh,
freestyle or something like that. Freestyle bike or something like that. I think because it had a name on the middle bar. I can't remember. It was freestyle. It was something like that. But it had
mhm.
a peg, the little pegs you could stand on and on the front and the back.
Yeah, mine had back pegs where somebody else could be on the back.
Yeah.
Or you could do tricks yourself, like popping a wheelie and then standing on the
I'd
pegs.
I'd kill myself if I tried to do some kind of popping a wheelie or doing something
Dude, that's
like.
what people did with them, though. They popped in wheelies and they stood on the pegs and they did jump the bike around on the back tire, and
We used to build ramps. We
yeah,
get like just trash and,
dude.
and we build we
I
would be jumping. We would ride down the hill, then jump a ramp.
I got a funny
Yeah,
story for you. I got a funny story for you on jumping bikes. Now we used to build ramps too. Okay, we did that as well. But I lived in these apartments in McEwen, Tennessee. It's called the Irish Apartments. I don't know why they called them because nobody Irish, right? But they call them the Irish Apartments. And we had two things we did there in the back side of one row of them because it would slant downhill. Okay, and the yard in behind the houses was slanting downhill. It leveled out a little bit, slant down a little more, level out a little bit, slant down a little more. Some of them had washed out little ravine things washed out in between so like it'd be like a foot wide and it might be a foot deep, but it's all washed out where rain had come through there from the and then people had their clotheslines up back there, right? We would start at the top of the hill and race going down who would reach the bottom first in one piece because you had to jump the little ravine things that had washed out. You're ducking the clotheslines, and just going as fast as you can. But the jumping story, though, there was a sidewalk that ended abruptly, guys. Check us out, Ray. See, steady hand right there, right? Level, level. No, it did this. Okay, it's just straight down, and then there's grass down here. The ground, you jump off the sidewalk, and you land at the bottom. There wasn't no, we didn't put no ramp there. It just stopped, so you pulled up the jump right there. Well, we had a friend that lived there named Dusty that lived there with us, and Dusty had a chopper bike. Okay, the chopper bike looked just like you think like it says a chopper, long extended handlebar in the front with the wheel going out far like a chopper Harley would or something. He, he jumped that thing off of there. Worst mistake ever because it wasn't like a real good seat. It was like a almost like a banana seat, almost like a girl's bike would have, but it wasn't really a banana seat. It was just a long saddle like seat. But it didn't keep him from sliding off of it. And what's left between him and the ground? A little solid bar.
Oh, ouch.
Yes. I hope Dusty don't listen to this, but because he'll know who I'm talking. He'll know I'm talking about him. But if you are listening, that was the funniest thing ever, man. I still remember it. That was cool.
I think every boy who's ever had a bike has at some point come victim to that bar.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
I tried jumping the speed bumps we had. I'd hit the speed bump and try to pull up and jump them after I hit them, and I hit one wrong one time and went forward, and sure enough,
That bar will humble you.
it did.
Bar will-
Oh my gosh! So let's see. We got bikes out of the way here. We got some GI Joes. We got no, not GI Joes. Transformers. We got some. We got some He Man stuff. Marty.
Yes.
You got your Millennium Falcon. You said that you were really looking forward to and everything. What else
Well,
stands out to you that you really enjoyed playing with that you got for Christmas one year?
I'm about to tell off on myself, but when I was young, and I was born in '72, so one Christmas, and I think I was like maybe 6 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
but one Christmas, my dad decided to get me the alien doll from the very first alien movie.
Mm-hmm.
And after I unwrapped this thing, I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, this thing looks like if I bust it out of the box, it's gonna rip my face off. So, I mean, I still, I took it out of the box and I kind of played with it a little bit. But every night before I went to bed, I would literally take my jump rope and tie that little mother and just made sure that thing couldn't get loose and attack me in my sleep.
He thought it was the clown from Poltergeist.
The,
but
the
but
imagine
that but hey, I now that I'm older, I wish I hadn't have done what I did to it because knowing what I know, even this thing loose out of the box is like worth $1,500, and I totally destroyed this thing. Like I don't even think there was like a piece left after I took some fireworks to it. So
Oh my God! You blew up the
I blew it up. I pretended I was Ripley and just blew that mother up.
You know that thing wasn't coming for you.
Look, hey, if we all knew then what we know now about our toys when we were younger, we would have taken better care of them. Obviously,
Mhm.
I would
Yeah.
have had all them G1 Transformers, which was end up being worth a lot later on. Ray talking about Castle Grayskull and the He-Man figures and everything. They pull a decent penny these days. Star Wars stuff, the original Star Wars stuff. If anybody had the original Star Wars stuff, I had
Yeah.
friends. I used to go to my friends' house all the time to play with them because they had all the Star Wars stuff. I didn't get the Star Wars things. I had other things other than that, but they had like the Millennium Falcon. They had the X-wing fighters. They had the what was it called, the Y-wing fighters. The
Mhm.
had the Cloud City things. They had the Boba Fett thing. They had the little Hoth play sets and all these different things, and we had fun playing with them.
Y'all talking
But
about all those action figures. I didn't. I wasn't into action. As Chris, you well know because I'm not a Marvel guy. I'm not a DC guy. I'm not a comic guy. I'm not a
yeah,
superhero guy. I know of them, and I have seen. I've saw the first Batman and all that stuff. I've seen Deadpool, but I'm not like, oh, the new Captain America coming out. Like, I gotta go see that. No, that's not me.
right.
But I did have some action figures that I did keep, like a big box of them, like
Wow.
over 50.
Mm.
And I when I turned like 21, 22, something like that, I gave them to my brother, my half brother, and he kept them. And I found out about 6 years ago that he gave them away.
Oh no.
All those LJN WWF action figures.
Oh,
I had all of them.
Marty, if you don't know, LJN action figures from the he's talking about the wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
The rubber ones that was
Yes.
no
Okay, Marty, if you don't know about them, you can look online and get an older Hogan or an older Macho Man or Andre or something like that.
Hogan's. I had because I had every one. That's why I was so many of them because I had double a lot of them. Like I had like
Mm.
I had the rare one. I had
Yeah.
the giant. Not a lot of people had that one. Everybody
Right.
I know had King Kong. Nobody had. Man. If I know then what I know now,
And if they were in good shape,
Well.
there are some of them today. If they're in the packaging, pull a couple $100
yes,
Mhm.
out of the packaging and still in a little bit like in worn condition, played condition.
still get
You,
about two.
you still get $100 for some of them. I mean,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
here's the reason why for a lot of them. I could take a Roddy Piper that I had sat there and threw darts at, and hit it with darts all day long. Okay, part of his nose could be just wore off. The rubber nose wore off of him. The paint can be coming off of the body of the figure. All right, I could still probably get 30, $40 out of it. And the reason why is because people take those LJNs and they make custom wrestlers out of them of today's people. And even some of the older people. They they may take that Roddy Piper and repaint the figure to look like a different version of that of Piper. Or they may cut off Piper's arm that's doing like this, sit like that. Because his pose was like this and his other arm was out like this, you know
Mhm.
and they may cut that arm off, put it on a different torso of another figure, take a head from another one that resembles somebody else of today, or they can make it look like it, and put all these things back together, and then paint them and look like a custom wrestler. Ralph, in the wrestling group, Ray, from a wrestling group,
Rough dude.
Ralph Duke. If you ever have any interest in seeing some really cool looking customs, ask him to show you his collection. He does this, and he's got a guy that prints off 3D heads for him now.
Here's the kicker. Not only did I have the action figure, well, whatever you want to call them,
You had the ring too, didn't you?
I had the ring and the blue cage.
Oh man, not the blue cage.
Nice.
That's the WrestleMania 2 cage, right? The blue cage was supposed to be, I think. Now, as far as wrestlers go, I didn't get a lot of the LJNs. Matter of fact, I only had two. I had Piper and the Sheik, so they wrestled each other quite a lot. Matter of fact, I invented the RKO before the RKO was ever a thing. Okay, with these two figures. Um, uh, what I did have quite a few of was the Remco wrestling figures. Do you remember those?
I do. I didn't like that.
But it's because they were bought for me. I didn't go out and buy them.
Nobody.
But I didn't get the ones that I wanted though. I did. There was two sets that I wanted that I never got. I wanted the Road Warriors and I wanted the Fabulous ones, and I never got them as a kid. What I did have was I had the Kurt Hennig, Greg Gagne tag team. I had the I think I had the Freebirds. No, it isn't the Freebirds. Was it Jimmy Garvin and Steven Regal? They had put together as a tag team.
Even
I had Ric Flair, Rick Martel.
see they had all the. I, they just looked weird to me.
Well, they did because at the time they didn't have the ability to make those look very realistic compared to what we get today, right? But I also took my He-Man figures, and they were wrestlers with the Remco wrestlers at one point in time. So I
They were big. They actually looked like the people they were supposed to look like for the most part.
yeah.
Had that actual the correct like gear on and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
the LJM they kind of look random. They just look put together.
Man,
I had all of that, dude. I was like, yeah, I got those. A lot of toys I got for Christmas and or birthday because my birthday's in November and then Christmas is in December.
right?
Sister's birthday is in December, so my mother was like, "Look, we ain't about to,
Mhm.
we ain't about to do all this. So we will save some of this for your birthday and some of this for Christmas." We ain't,
Exactly. Me and Ray were in the same spot. I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
literally, like Christmas, and then my birthday was in January. My birthday is January 6th.
yeah. So
And literally, it was like right after Christmas, it was like 2 weeks later, and it was my birthday. So, me and Ray were in the same boat about the whole. Okay, you're getting so much now, and then you're going to get a little bit on your birthday.
yeah,
So,
my sister,
My ex hated her birthday 'cause her birthday was December 23rd.
oh,
So for
yeah.
her, it was always Merry Birthmas. You know,
sucks.
yeah,
But no, yeah, I got stuff like that, and so it's like far as instruments, I don't know. It seemed like everybody I knew had one. Those little Casio keyboards.
yeah. Everybody at one point in time, the little small 2 foot long keyboard,
Big.
little small Casio.
Mhm.
I sat there and you get all tickled because you figured out how to play one little tune on it, or like jingle bells, or three blind mice,
I learned
three blind mice.
that was the first song I learned how to play.
Was it?
Yep.
Was it three blind mice or was it hot cross buns?
No, it was Lean on Me. That's what I
Oh,
played.
lean on me. Ah, doom,
Yeah.
doom, 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 doom.
So
Boom, boom.
you hit the same notes going up and down as you hit.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
as far as an actual song, I think for me it was Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom.
You could actually play that. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I mean, well, you sit there when you're sitting and you're hitting different keys after a while. I mean, this sounds kind of like this. Doom, doom, boom, boom. And then you like, okay, where's the other one? Boom, 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 boom. Then you hit a different one. Nope. Start over. And
I don't even know if they made them back then, but they had junior kit. They have junior kits now. I can't tell you if they had them back then or not. But I'm like 8 years old, and I wanted a drum set, but
yeah,
I'm thinking I'm 8. I'm not getting something some grown man gonna play, right?
look, my parents were not glutton for punishment. They was not getting something I could be beaten on, making all kind of noise like that.
My father played, so my mother is used to hearing noise. I went again, come downstairs. Like we had a so the house I was born in, or the apartment I was born in, we moved into like a row house. So it had 3 levels, kind of like they call them townhouses now. They weren't. I don't know if they were called townhouse back then, they were like row house, whatever. Bedrooms upstairs. Then you had the middle level. Then we had like a
Yeah.
basement. And get the toy. I see the toys. I'm like, but this. Okay, guess I'm getting older because I'm not getting as many toys like toys. Like, I'm like, okay, I got that. That's cool. That's cool. I remember asking for a drum set, and I swear I don't see nothing wrapped. So I'm like playing, and I don't know why I went downstairs. I just went down there, and there's this big ass 5-piece drum set sitting there. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be playing this, but I'm about to just my, my mother walking down the steps. Shit, he found it.
Bet my mom, she'd be like, well, I hope you enjoyed it while you had it because I'm taking that back now that you found it early.
My mom still has the picture of me sitting on the drum set like I don't have a shirt on. I just got on like some shorts, and I'm sitting there like, Kiss just hit the stage, and I'm opening with Kiss like first night of the show, and I'm like,
There you go.
Mhm.
God help
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, see, I was in the same boat Chris was. My parents didn't really care for too many things that made way too much noise.
Right.
So, or it made noise, and they were like, "Oh, well, we forgot the batteries. We'll get batteries later." And then later came, and no batteries, no noise, no nothing. So,
Yeah, no,
Um,
it was just me and my sister. Originally, my mother got remarried, and I adopted two stepbrothers. 1 year for Christmas, I had to been in like about 12, something like that. I was in middle school. I got a big Casio keyboard. My brother got a big Casio keyboard. My other who does he's a sound engineer to this day. That's his profession. He got this board with speakers, and he got like a little entertainment system where he could like mix. I don't know where they found this crap because I ain't never seen it before. My other brother got he no, my sister got a acoustic guitar. We got two microphones to plug into that thing, and I had an electric pad drum set. We all of us got all of that in 1 year. 1 year for Christmas.
and okay, did y'all not cut a record or what?
You know what we did? We cut on the radio and played on the radio. We the house we moved in when they moved together had a basement. It was a split. It was a separate basement. So the steps was in the middle. You had this side of the basement and then that side, and the lights had dimmers and we had dimmer switches.
Yeah.
So we just put the lights bright where the so-called stage and cut all the other lights off. I think I got a flashlight and hung it from like a hook on the ceiling or something. And so we just spun that around like it's a disco light. You couldn't tell us we wasn't on stage, bro. We had a ball that year.
Is the Franklin Five, right?
Well,
The Franklin Five.
They bought, like I said, to this day, that's his job. He's a
That's cool though. I mean, to be to grow up and you get toys that you really like that, and that actually kind of steered you toward what you wanted to do in the future. Like for me, that's the same for me. I just want to play with toys all my life. So I mean,
mm,
buy me
yeah.
toys, steer me in the right path for playing with toys. We're good. I mean, I can remember some of the earliest stuff that I got that I really liked. I had the Evil Knievel. It was this little thing that you would put
To
the
wind him up, you would actually wind him up, and then
it's
he'd take
it,
off.
it wasn't a wind up. No, it was a rip cord. You'd put you'd feed the cord into the back of it, and you pull it out like that, and let him
Yeah.
go. And that sucker would, and then it had a little ramp set with it that came with it, and he'd hit that ramp and jump, and sometimes it'd successfully go to the other side of it and land, or in my case, sometimes he would not make it all the way to the ramp, or he would just crap out and crash because I set it down funny when I pulled the ripcord on it. There was another Evil Knievel that I had that was this might be what you're talking about though. That it's a wind up thing where you get this little wheel and you're cranking the wheel until it gets real
Bang, bang,
fast.
bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get in, let's go. It takes off, it shoots out. I had that one too. I had
That's the one that I actually have. So
There was the Stretch Armstrong. Everybody had to
Mhm.
have a Stretch Armstrong, right? You had to have always wanted one of those. Then there was Little Ray's like Stretch Armstrong. What is-
I remember it. I don't remember getting one. I remember
Yeah,
the toy though.
yeah. I had one and one only because I mean I finally stretched him to the point to where he did bust open and I saw what was in him. Uh, I had this
Mhm.
a $6 million man toy playset. Some Buck Rogers it was
Truck.
like a little cheap Buck Rogers playset, but I loved the show, so I liked the toys. I didn't care that they were cheap toys. I mean,
I got the Fall Guy, the actual Fall Guy truck. It was like the brown. Man, jumped.
that's cool.
I jumped
Oh,
up.
you had the GMC?
Yeah,
Now,
I
but
jumped
was it
steps.
like what size was it?
It was about the size of a laptop.
Yeah, so that was it metal, plastic,
It was that die cast. It
die
was
cast? There you go. Okay,
inside
yeah,
plastic, like the seats and stuff was plastic. It had the little
right,
fake windows and all that stuff on it.
right. But it was
First day, got
the
me.
real big size die cast version of it though. That's cool.
Yeah,
The
Oh,
the
and you
the
can't
only
forget the Tonka trucks that came out, back then also.
I had the dump
So,
truck, I had the bulldozer. You know, I was building things out in I was building things in the gravel driveway.
mhm.
I think
Well, I'd have a little bit of everything out there. It'd be like my dump truck, my Tonka dump truck, and it'd be my GI Joes inside. If they would, if they would fit inside, I'd cram them in there and make them look like they're driving it around, and then I'd have like a big fight between like my Cobra guys and my GI Joes, and then I'd be like, oh well, these guys are dead. Time to salute them, and I buried them in the dirt.
Oh no. What were you saying, Ray?
oh, I completely forgot. Oh, when you talking about the Tonka trucks, I was trying to say I'm a city kid, so we didn't have like a lot of yard. I didn't like like I said, my mother got remarried. That's when I think I had my first big yard when I was like 11. We didn't have a we had like a little
Little strip of land.
and yeah. So we didn't like I couldn't go outside. Like we had the Tonka trucks and the the backhoes and the bulldogs and all that stuff. But we just jumped them like with the Fall Guy truck. We just jumped them off the curb or just jumped them off a set of steps or something like that. Just like we would put like
Yeah.
we put the action figures in there. The little some of my friends had the little GI Joes. We stick them in there, sit them down, and okay, here we go. With the back of the truck, and whoever makes it after the jump is still in the truck. Okay, I guess they survived.
And I had the as far as the cars go, I always wanted a General Lee. I never got a General Lee. But what I did end up getting was the Coyote car from Hardcastle and McCormick. But it wasn't die cast though, it was plastic. That's why I asked was it plastic or die cast? It was one of them. Do you remember the big plastic cars that Walmart would sell at some point?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
I don't know if I had the General Lee or my brother had it. But the General Lee was like big, like
Yeah.
big plastic.
Well, you could get a big plastic version, or you could get the big diecast version, like you're talking about with the Fall Guy truck.
No, I think the plastic version. Yes. You know who had that car? My cousin in North Carolina. That's who had that damn car. Cause his like he man he had I think he had like a Power Wheels like the Bigfoot Power Wheels and all that.
Oh, you talking about the green machine?
No, he had it was actual Ford Bigfoot Power Wheel.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the battery operated things. You drive around the yard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he had that, and he had the Chips motorcycle
yeah,
motor thing.
mm,
right. Those. I remember looking see those in the. You know what? Another thing to talk about the catalogs with the toys in them. We would just thumb through the
J.C.
catalog.
Penney catalog.
Yeah, those chips things you're talking about. I remember seeing those in the catalog, going, man, those are sweet. That'd be to have one of those. The closest I got was a power cycle. When I say power cycle, I think they were called something else. You would it were they called big wheels?
I remember the one thing that I don't know if you remember it, but it was like it had two wheels in the back,
one big
and it
wheel in
had like
front.
one big wheel in the
Yes,
front,
that.
and then you'd like pedal it around, and they
Yes.
called it the big green machine.
Okay, well, there were
And
different ones though. So there was the big green machine, but there was also just big wheels that were different ones. They had the big wheel Knight Rider, the big wheel General Lee, big wheels GI Joe, big wheels just in different variations, and it had that little thing on the side when you going so fast,
yeah, and
you
you pull it.
you pull it up and turn sideways.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it was called. It was red, blue, and yellow. It was
yeah,
called
that was one version of it too. Yes.
Big Wheel Speedster. But yeah, they had a Big Wheel Classic. They had all the kind of character ones. But yeah, I remember. I remember the red, blue, and yellow one.
For those of y'all who are listening to this, if you want to see some really cool things like that, Instagram, friend of the show, he came on the show one time with us when we did Goonies. His name is Timmy. Back to the 1980s with a Z at the end, not an S. Back to the 1980s, and he has videos showing off his 80s toy room. Basically, it's got more than just toys. It's got like VHS tapes and the old game systems. He's got his old stereo with albums and stuff in it. A lot of the different toys, but in his garage, he's got some old bicycles. He restores bicycles too, I believe. But I believe here recently he got him a Knight Rider big wheel
Mm.
he found that he got from somewhere, and I thought, man, that brought back a lot of memories. Seeing that Knight Rider big wheel, I never had that one, but I always wanted it though. 'Cause it was Knight Rider.
You said back to the 1980s with a Z.
Yeah, pretty
Wow,
sure I
he's
will
got
double.
he's got the
You, s-
old sets and stuff.
so you see him on there now?
Yeah,
Man, go through his stuff. Give him a follow. Go through his stuff, his videos in there. He's got videos where he'll walk you through the room and tell you about stuff. And some videos are just with music playing in the background. He just goes around hitting different things.
those big.
He's got several things he called the holy grail of toys he always wanted, like Eternia. Like there was Snake
Mm.
Mountain, there was Grayskull, then there was Eternia.
I just seen a couple of remote control cars I had. Those off road ones you could.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of stuff. He remember those little wrist racers? You put them on like watches,
And you pull.
and no, you sit there and you wind them up, and the little thing pops up, and they'll just take off out of the thing while on your wrist.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
He's got some of those monster truck things. He's got the claws that come out of the tires that climb. I forget what they were called. The little TV
Yeah.
commercials will show him climbing rocks and everything in the commercials.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Do you remember Stompers? Stompers would take a battery. They had the big old wheels, like little Bigfoot trucks or something, and you put the wheels in, turn them on. The Stompers would just ride over everything, or they'd flip over to you to put them back on the wheels again. But you could make things for them to get up on and drive over. And they had Stomper sets, little Stomper tracks they could go around. And
He's got the diecast kit car.
dude, yeah,
I had that
the one from back in the day with the Hasselhoff figure next to it with the Michael Knight figure.
watching everything. I know it's diecast because he's got it's like lights and stuff. Unless he put the lights in it, I don't remember it coming with.
Well, now he's got this one he just put together recently. It's that thing they've been advertising on Facebook where you could get the Knight Rider card and put it together, and it's got so many recorded sayings in it and everything. The doors open, the little thing goes woof, woof, in front of it.
Oh,
They also offer like an R2D2 and quite a few other things you get, but by the time you build them, you spent more money than probably what it's worth at that point.
It's hard to
I
believe.
think I think he got his as a sponsor thing.
Yeah, he's got he's on point.
Yeah, he's got a ton of stuff. I mean, Marty, you get a chance later on, you'll take a look at him and see.
okay.
Pretty
Don't
cool.
don't he have like a whole room dedicated to old video games?
I showed you his stuff when you were here actually before when we did trick or
Yeah,
treat a long
yeah,
time
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
It's not a whole room to video games, but he does have like an old TV and the old NES and maybe an old Sega. And he's got videos of him sitting there where he'll be watching an old Saturday morning cartoon on the old TV while he's eating cereal for cereal, an old time cereal bowl like we used to have.
Y'all remember
Um,
Mhm.
What's
He's
that?
got movie trays. Remember we said the movie trays we put our lunch or dinner on when we're in front of the TV?
Yeah,
Might be
eating
like
frozen dinner. Yeah.
yeah, he has some of those there. He's got quite a bit. So if you anybody out there listening gets a chance to check him out and give him a follow. I think you really like it. He's only got like a million followers now, probably. I don't know. I haven't checked lately. It's quite he got quite a bit.
Y'all were talking about the big worlds earlier, and I came across. It's not his, but it was just like a post he posted. Remember the big wheels with the little machine gun on the top of the handle?
Yep,
Hmm.
I just seen that. And it got like the gun box in the back,
yep,
ammo box. It's
yep.
like
One of the I'm having trouble determining what I think I liked more though. Was it if it was my GI Joes or my Transformers? I didn't have a lot of He Man. My mom didn't buy me a lot of He Man stuff, but I really I had a ton of GI Joe, and I would buy the comic books for GI Joe. I had issue 1 through 38 when they originally released, um, and I eventually gave them to somebody else. I didn't keep them. If I'd known then, like I said, what I know now, I'd have kept those comic books. I would have kept all my baseball cards from back then because I had like Don Mattingly rookies, Wade Bogg rookies. I had older Pete Rose cards. I had Barry Bonds rookie, Greg Maddux rookie, McGuire, Canseco, all these people from back in the 80s. I had all these things going on, and I gave them all away. Um,
so.
but
Let's get to the best Christmas present everybody got. I don't know if everybody got this for Christmas, but I know mine came at Christmas. The first Nintendo,
yes,
Yeah.
It was Christmas for me.
the
It was the one with the little robot with it.
little robot.
Yeah, the little robot that came with it.
Well,
It had the
I,
game that had that game that come with it that the robot would play with you in there.
I missed that one.
Oh no way! No way, man. Okay, so while you're talking about the Nintendo, I'm gonna look this up. Go ahead and tell us about your Nintendo and everything.
My Nintendo came with a little. I guess you call it a gun.
Yeah,
oh yeah, for duck hunt.
A
the
gun.
light gun.
So
Yeah.
it
How many
came.
times you shoot that dog hoping it would shut up?
I, it was my first time playing duck hunt, so I just kept shooting the dog. I thought you were supposed to shoot the dog. I didn't know. Like I realized, oh, that's supposed to shoot the dog. Okay, I got it. But no, I became a sharpshooter on that duck hunt. I was kids shooting behind the back and all that stuff.
um, so just give you an idea here, it was the original Nintendo deluxe set with Rob the Robot, Rob the Robot. There is one on eBay right now that's used. It's the entire set with the light gun, the NES, a couple of that's definitely Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. I think
But I just
that might be the only two games, and the one that you play with the robot. $1,749.95 are asking for it.
I have never
Wow.
never in my life seen this before.
The
That is news to me.
so
Never seen that before.
let me see if I can explain to you about the Rob the robot here for a second.
Never knew that was a thing.
Rob, Robotic Operating Buddy, is a toy robot accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was key to NES's launch in October in 85 as a redesign of the family computer robot, which had launched in July 85 for Japan for Famicom, it called it, or something like that. But there was this game. See, Rob had these two little hands that would come together like this. All right. And the game was gyroscope or something like that, and it had something to do with these little spinning wheel things. And he would pick up this spinning wheel thing and come over like this and set it back down or something. It would open up this doorway or gateway for you to go through to get by or something like that. I was terrible at it. I didn't. Eventually the robot broke on me because
If
I was rough with it. I guess.
you looked it up, I'd have thought you was making it up. I have never heard of this or seen this in my
I
life.
swear I'm not making it
Yeah,
up.
I actually remember seeing that robot before too. But I never had that Nintendo system that had the robot. But uh, okay, Ray, have you ever seen? There was a scene in ET where there was like a little white robot that was on tracks, And did Rob on tracks? Did he
Uh,
roll on tracks?
no, he's not on tracks.
Okay.
No, it's just this
Yeah.
solid. It's just this solid base. The two little arms that come out and connect. He's got this what looks like a Johnny Five head almost on him, but not quite like Johnny Five.
I love that.
Mhm.
And the games are called Gyromite and Stack Up. That's the two games that they created for it.
Those are the worst names for games ever.
Well, they were the worst games ever. That's why no one played them really. Whenever it was just cool to watch the robot work if he worked half the time,
Was
and
that a
it didn't work right half the time. So you get mad and throw it to the side and put Duck Hunt or Mario Brothers back in until you manage to buy more games. And
Mhm.
then of course there was everybody. I think everybody had Punch Out and Contra and uh,
Dig Dug.
I don't remember Dig Dug
Was
being.
Dig Dug part of that?
I don't remember Dig Dug being on there.
I
It
know
might have been.
I know a guy whose
Yeah.
name is Dig Dug to this he's like he's gotta be 51.
Was Frogger
But I never
was Frogger just limited just to Atari?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I thought it was.
yeah. You said somebody called Dig. They nicknamed Dig Dug. They call him Dig Dug today.
since I've known him his name has been Dig Dug. That is literally his name.
Dig Dug.
I don't
Dig
know.
Dug.
But I never
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So let me ask you guys this. All right, NES or Genesis?
Oh, Genesis, definitely.
I'm I'm
Mm,
up in the air
I'm gonna have to say NES.
because NES, man, I loved Mario Bros. Super Mario 2. I loved Contra, Punch Out. Um, what was the very first game
The Power Pad.
that they had Snake in there? Snake. It was Metal Gear, the very
Oh,
first Metal Gear game. The Rambo game
you
was fun.
mean Metal Gear Solid? That was
Well,
PlayStation.
it was just Metal Gear when it first came out. And then Metal
Okay.
Gear 2, then Metal Gear 3, then Metal
I
Gear
could have
Solid.
sworn.
I think.
Yeah, I could have sworn. Yeah, there was a Metal Gear Solid, and that was on PlayStation. Well, it was.
Well, it
I,
probably was. It graduated to a different system.
yeah.
But
Well, what about the Genesis Dreamcast? Did anybody ever have one of
I,
those?
I had a Sega Dreamcast, yeah.
I never
Yeah.
had one. I knew people that had one. I played theirs. I couldn't get which I tried. God knows I tried. I just couldn't.
They only had two games on it I really liked. There was Dead or
Oh,
Alive
football.
3 I had, and then there was some game called Soul Rain or something like that.
Hmm.
I forget exactly what it was called. It was kind of
Uh,
cool.
I know for back in the day for the Dreamcast when you first saw the football, the football game that they had for that game, it was like you were looking at it and you're like, man, it's so realistic. Not like nowadays, when you're looking at like PlayStation 5 or
Well,
Xbox.
look, when
Oh,
I asked you guys Genesis or NES, I the only reason why I asked is because I loved Madden football on Genesis. And I had this argument with some people time and time again, Madden football over Tecmo Bowl. And I was like, no, it's always Madden football. They're like, no, it's Tecmo Bowl. Super Tecmo Bowl was the greatest. I said, no, it wasn't because you could be in one end zone and launch it all the way to the other and make the ball curve back and forth like this. I said, no, Madden football was a challenge. It was more, yeah, Ray.
I'm gonna have to cut out in like 10 minutes.
All right, cool.
So yeah,
I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and jump onto into our five favorites. We think Ray, go ahead and start with you.
my five favorites, of course,
It don't have to be any particular order or anything. So just five favorites.
the the He-Man castle. Um, I gotta throw the BMX bike in there. I got, of course, my drum set, my very first drum set. That's three. Um, I'm trying to think back because I gotta. Uh, nah, I didn't like that. So the He-Man castle, the bike, the drum set, the the other keyboard I got when I was in middle school,
Yeah, the big one.
and so before they had these wrestling belts, I actually got the little foam ones,
Yeah.
the foam ones. I don't know why I saved those things. Those I did save to like it was like 20 something, but they just started falling apart because they were just foam. They was
Right.
you would touch it, it would brittle away. I got those, and the reason why I never asked for those because you could even only two ways you can get those: order them out the wrestling book, or go to the actual show and get it. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if my uncle actually went to the show and got it, or and I could say I really don't care how he got it. I was just happy because I was the only kid that had them. So those and the bike I got, and it's not so much that it was a mountain bike I got when I was a teenager, but as you know, when you don't have a license and you don't want to walk, your bike was the best thing you could have.
Transportation.
And when you get to be a certain age as a teenager, the old Huffy bikes don't look as cool on you as maybe like a mountain bike would.
It got to be a mountain bike, and let me tell you, I was gone. I was like, yes, I got a bike. And all my little brothers and sisters know how to ride a bike, so I didn't have to ride with them. I was too damn old to have a helmet. Some people wasn't wearing those. That bike, people like, oh, you got a bike? No, yeah, y'all don't understand. Again, y'all fellas back me up. When you're a teenager, you got that bike, and
You can go anywhere.
mosey,
Dude.
you mosey on down and hide your bike in the backyard of the girl's house you was not supposed to be in.
I rode my bike all around town where I lived. If my mom had ever known back then how far I went with that bike, she tore my butt up.
It was always don't go past this street or don't go past.
Oh yeah, well, I went way past that street. I went
Yeah.
well past to
Yeah.
another.
Look back, okay, mama went back in the house. Turn around, I'm gone. So, those are my favorite. Yeah.
All right, Marty.
Let's see. Definitely my BMX bike. That would probably be one. Um, my other would be the big green machine. Uh, and let's see. My Millennium Falcon, definitely. All the Star Wars toys that I got, pretty much, that I got for that one Christmas. I just kind of blew my mind. I had all quite a few different figures, and I had the X-wing and the Millennium Falcon both that year. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. Um, I had one year. I had quite a few like GI Joe toys that was really cool, especially the vehicles. Uh, I had I had like maybe five or six extra figures, but they got me the Firefly, the helicopter, the jet, and they got me that that uh, piece that actually submerges and goes under the water.
Mm-hmm.
That had the diver with it,
Right. That's called the
and
shark, I believe.
yeah, and uh, and I want to say probably my last but not least was I had an Atari. I can't remember if it was the original or if it was the second gen, but I had like three games that came with it, and the one that I played the most was Frogger, so which was kind of cool.
It's been out
Yeah.
Pong,
And what?
playing Pong, the one that had the thing.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, no, I never got into that one.
I don't know if that was on Atari or not. Was it? I think that
Yeah,
was. I thought
it
that.
was
I
on
thought
the
that
Atari. Yeah,
was it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I would. Now Breakout and Super Breakout, I played those a lot on my Atari. But as far as me for my five, I'm having trouble with one decision. But all of us can have our bikes in there for sure. 'Cause bikes meant what like Ray said, bikes meant a lot to us.
Yeah,
Um,
freedom.
yeah, freedom. So the BMX bike that I had one year, of course my GI Joes that I added to every year. I had a big collection at one point. Loved my GI Joes. The Transformers that I accumulated over all the say over a period of 2 years. Loved all those. My Nintendo Entertainment System, the one I had of that one, that gave me years and years of entertainment. And then my fifth one, if I'm gonna pick a fifth one, it's man, it's kind of tough because I like a lot of the older stuff I had when I was young, but um, the other toys I got when I was a little bit older were more memorable. So I made to putting the mask toys that I had up there. I had quite a few masks. Ray, were you familiar with Mask?
Mm-mm.
Mm,
There's a cartoon, Mask
yeah,
Crusaders.
yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Uh,
It was like a Camaro that could actually the doors would pop open and it would take off like a jet.
yeah, and it would fly. You had a motorcycle that would had the blades come up from behind and start spinning and be like a helicopter, a little motorcycle helicopter. They would change into different things. Basically, Mask was it was an acronym. It was Mobile Armored Strike Command, and they had a cartoon. So if you look up the cartoon, just look up Mask cartoon intro, and you'll see what their little theme was there for their cartoon and what some of their vehicles and stuff look like. So, um, I see. I was having trouble with that or my walkie talkies. Well, it had to be one of the two. Love those walkie talkies. I'd get like a set of walkie talkies. They last me 2 years, and then I'd have to get a new one because I didn't wore them out, tore them up, and everything. But did definitely love those. One of my friends that lived next door to me, we'd keep one in my house in the bedroom, one in his bedroom, go back and forth with each other, talk. That was the before we had cell phones.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I believe Chris started out with the old cup on the string, didn't you?
a what?
The cup on the string with put a cup on here, a cup on here with
I might have. I mean, I'm old enough to know that I've tried one of those and it worked. And do you know why it works?
I don't know.
Because the string is pulled very tightly. All right, and it's connected to that can, which is hollow. You put it to your ear. The string carries the voice vibrations to the other can.
This science lesson was brought to you by Chris.
Mhm.
Hey, I had little microscopes and stuff too. When I had a little science phase in me. All
Mhm.
right, I love those all-in-one electronic toys. You know, where you make your own little quartz radio or your ham radio you'd make, or little joy buzzer.
Science, I was trying to become the next
Oh, do you
head.
remember the chemistry sets back in the day?
I do remember them. Did I ever have one? No, but I remember them. Yes.
No.
I don't know about you, Ray, but my mom wouldn't buy me a chemistry set because I might blow my eyebrows off or something.
I mean, I guess I never. If I probably would have shown a big interest in science, she probably would have bought me one. But I also had a brother who used to light matches and throw them at the kitchen cabinets. So she wasn't nothing.
Not good.
But I tell you what, and I'm gonna tell you this, and I gotta go. And I like those call them Radio City Radio Shack cars or whatever.
Hmm.
We had them, and we did this experiment in school of how to measure speed. I guess time and distance and all that stuff. Gives you speed and all that.
Right.
My brother, same dude that's the audio engineer. Every time he got one, he would always take his apart. Now, he's not a dummy by any stretch of the imagination, but he wasn't exactly the greatest student, right? He would take these things apart, and he would just, I mean, apart down to the like the. It's nothing but a board and the little frame with the wheels, the little thing holding the wheels out. That's it, and put it back together. And I swear, I don't know what the hell he did to these cars, but them damn things were going faster than they was when he bought them.
Oh, wow.
Like, dude, what did you do? I made it faster. That's what he was saying. I made it faster. How? Tell me how you did it. But yeah, that little. We had a one was a little red Ferrari, and it was one of those ones that was so low to the ground and had that little black lip on the front.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
He took the wheels off another car,
Oh
so this Ferrari with big tires on it.
man, I think we all used to do this very same thing then because I used to take some of my OGI Joe stuff and mix and match them together.
And he was
It's crazy.
hard plastic wheels and put them on. Like, dude, what are you doing?
That was part of the reason. That's part of the reason why I had to have a new set of walkie talkies every couple of years. Because after I'd wear them out for a while, I'd want to see what was inside them that made them work.
That's just like we that's just boys being boys. Let's we got
Mhm.
part of it's called home improvement. Let's open it up and give it more power.
That's right. That's right.
All right, fellas, I gotta
I-
check out because the missus is texting me because yeah, I already told you, Chris.
You're gonna be in trouble.
Mhm.
Man,
If you're able to come out and play tomorrow, I'll call you.
have a bite. So I'll run away. I'll ride away.
Right away, get your bike out, man. Yeah. All right, Ray. Thanks for joining us with us tonight and telling us about all this stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me,
All
Yeah,
right,
how you doing, Ray?
man. You too, man.
man. What was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, I had a few other things. Like I said, I had the microscopes and all these things you look at, and the microscope seemed cool until you got it. Then it was kind of a boring toy after all.
Yeah. And like you, and like I was saying, I even had the chemistry set,
Mm-hmm.
but the only thing that my thing ever did was I'd mix like a few chemicals together, and then it'd like bubble up like one of those volcano things or something. 'Cause that's all it would do, and I'd be like, and I'd stink myself out of my room because it smelled like a skunk or something. So
Lord. What was? Let's see. Name of Autobot um microscope. I forget the character's name. Perceptor. I had
yeah,
Perceptor.
perceptor.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had Perceptor as one of my toys, and it actually functioned as a working microscope to a certain extent of magnification. It wasn't like a real microscope where it would go like say 1,000 times or
Yeah,
something.
10 times the
Yeah,
magnification.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying it wouldn't do anything like that, quite like that. But I mean, it was still it kind of served as something like that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of um.
Uh,
I can't
Well,
remember.
I'd say probably a lot of my Transformers. I had, I had some Gen 1s. I had Gen 2. Uh, I think by the time I got to my Gen 3s, that was like I was actually starting to get out of the Transformers, and I was starting to be more interested in like video games. Like I was more playing on my black and white TV that I had in my room. I
Yeah,
didn't have no color TV, but it was but at least it was my black and white, and it was all mine, and I could watch it whatever I wanted to.
right.
So
I mean, I'd be in my room on school nights watching a little 13-inch TV, and I could hear kids out there now going, "We're 13-inch TV, dude." I got a 42-inch on my wall in my room. We
yeah,
got a
exactly.
we got a 75-inch in the living room. You had a 13-inch and a tube TV at that. A 13-inch tube TV that had my game
Mhm.
hooked up to it. And when I finally got a color TV, that was the biggest deal ever. But it was still a 13-inch TV screen. But
Yeah.
I would be laying in my room at night to bed on school nights, watching whatever come on at 10 o'clock on the local Fox channel, followed by Arsenio Hall at 10:30.
Hmm.
Waiting to see who's gonna be on Arsenio Hall that night.
Or better yet, staying up way past my bedtime on a
Mhm.
Saturday and laughing at the old school Saturday Night Live. So,
Old
and
school
laughing
SNL and Benny Hill.
SNL. Yeah.
And if you found Benny Hill on TV, you were always watching that too.
Hmm.
Or I mean, most of the guys were anyway, because the crude humor and all.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but anyway, well, it's been fun talking about this stuff. I hope everybody else that all of you like the conversation we had about the toys and everything. If you've got a favorite toy or brand of toys, like say GI Joes, not just one particular GI Joe, or same with He Man or Mask or Transformers or Voltrons or whatever you had. I didn't even throw Voltron out there. I didn't have Voltron, but I always wanted it. Um,
Actually, when the same year that I got my BMX bike, I had the Voltron, the Lions, the whole. It came in like a box that was like see through,
yeah,
and you could see the lines on the inside, and then you bust the package out, and then you'd have to like take the little straps off that were holding the lines in, and then once you got those little plastic pieces off, then you could like grab the line and take them out. And man,
Lions were the best ones. They had two different versions of Voltron, but the Lions are the best.
oh yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this. Just and will let us know if you're on YouTube watching this. Let us know in the comments below. If you are, uh, just listen to the audio right now. Go find us on Instagram or on Facebook at Retro Life for You, and let us know what your favorite toys were. Matter of fact, I'll have a post out on Instagram and Facebook both that will be advertising the show as it's coming out or just before it comes out. You could use that post right there to put your favorite toys and stuff on as well, or what other favorite gifts from those years for Christmas and everything. Always interested in hearing other people's stories and everything. So, um, let's see, where are we at now? We got just to put it out there, the web page and the YouTube page. The web page is www.retrolife the number 4 the letter u.com. And for the YouTube page, if you just go to YouTube and you click on like the home area, whatever, you can type in the bar up there at Retro Life for You and hit enter, and it'll take you to our page where everything we record stores on that page. So you can see why we got faces made for radio and come on here and check us out. And if you are listening to the audio still, we definitely appreciate it. I see a lot of people are listening to us on iTunes. If you're listening to us on iTunes, do me the huge favor. It's Christmas time. Give me a Christmas present by going to the place there on iTunes where you can make a where you could give a little report on us and how we're doing and everything. Like if you liked it and what you did or didn't like about it or something. Just some little small thing and save it for there and see how many reviews we can get of everybody. Spotify just gives you a chance to do a star thing, so it's 5 stars or below.
that's
But we all
that's
know you want to
usually
put 5 on here for sure. I mean, we
uh,
know this.
that's usually where I listen is on Spotify. So
I'm a Spotify fan myself, so I can't say anything about that. But I was looking under analytics yesterday for last week's show, and a lot of people are looking at us through iTunes. So.
huh, okay,
But yeah, if you go into iTunes, follow us there and give us a 5 star review. If you go to Spotify, you can give us a little quick thing on there as well, where it shows their algorithm that you listen to us and that you like us, and it goes a long way for us and down the road and everything. So, well, Marty, we go ahead and I guess we're gonna drop out of here. This has been a fun bonus episode to have.
uh-huh.
We'll have Marty on again soon. You'll start hopefully getting used to seeing his face for the YouTube stuff we're doing for TV series and TV shows in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
So
we just covered A Team not too long ago.
we just did the
So
eight. I haven't uploaded it yet, but it's going to here soon. And so we'll have the A team up there, and hopefully by the time we get to A team, we'll have one more either done and out, or it'll be out shortly afterwards on top of that one. So
yeah, I
um,
was I was definitely thinking maybe our next one we could probably cover maybe some of our favorite sci-fi from the 80s.
I
So
we can do that. And now and that also includes reruns. You know, I mean, because there were some good sci-fi reruns in the '80s we watched that we couldn't have seen obviously years earlier when they came out, and that would be like an example of a sci-fi rerun would be Lost in Space.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I even remember those when they were when I was watching those in reruns. Some of them were still in black and white.
Right?
So,
Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. Well, make sure you guys reach out to us. Let us know what you like, didn't like. You can reach out to us at retrolifeforyou@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions of shows you want to see, whether it be extra content or bonus episodes or thing like that, just let us know what you're looking for, and we'll see if we can fit something like that in. Marty, I will see you on the next special content for TV we do, man.
oh yeah,
All
later.
right. All right. Everybody have a good one, and thank you for listening.